It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, rich and poor, rich and poor.
And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
No more money, loose change, or even swiping a card to pay for lunch. Now all kids in Bossier Parish will need is to wave their hand. KSLA News 12's Sasha Jones is in the Alert Center. She has the very latest on this new technology and what it means for students. Sasha.
Dominique school board leaders say this new technology will make it faster, safer, and easier for kids to pay for lunch. Parents, however, are not easily convinced. Some parents say the system is an invasion of their kids' privacy. In less than 5 seconds, Bossier students will slide right through the lunch line.
Sometimes they say they don't have much time at all. Sometimes they get 10, 15 minutes.
But this new technology promises to fix this. Apollo Elementary parent Long Win says lunchtime is also crunch time for his 2 kids. He says students are racing against the clock to move through the line and eat with speed. But soon all Bossier Parish school cafeterias will have a palm scanner.
And there's no risk of personal information being shared.
The scanner uses infrared laser to map out each student's vein coordinates and stores the data. The scan will help move the line faster and get some students at tables quicker. Today in training, Bossier cafeteria workers and I learned just how fast it really is.
Come and scan their hand.
Over here at Yahoo News, interesting article of microchips that will be implanted into healthy people sooner than you think. Can you say mark of the beast? Many of you know it's a biblical warning, but you know other people out here just see past it. They're going for the benefits of it, being able to swipe their hand and open doors, open their cars, unlock their phones and their cell phones and stuff, and pull off stuff that other people can't. And other people are seeing this and they want to do it too, because it's now becoming like the cool thing to do. Now what happened in 2009 is a guy injected himself with a chip, Mark Gasson, under the skin. Now he in turn infected his chip with a virus. And everywhere he went that had a reader to pick up on this device, he was passing along that virus. He was spreading the virus from the chip in his hand into other electronic devices. Can you believe that? This is what this guy was doing. Computers at work, people's phones, all kinds of other things, anything that was picking up this device, he was infecting.
One of them is the mechanical mismatch between humans and electronics, right? So electronics are boxy and rigid, humans are curvy and soft. That's a mechanical mismatch problem. Well, a researcher at the University of Illinois, his name is Dr. Rogers, what he discovered is that he could use standard CMOS techniques to make islands of high-performance silicon connected by accordion-like structures that would allow it to stretch up to 200% and still be performing. And what he did is he founded a company and they started making electronic tattoos. So I'm wearing one here on my arm.
Do we have a camera to get a...
This is a developmental system made by MC10, and it has an antenna and some sensors embedded in it. And what we plan to do is work with them to advance a tattoo that could be used for authentication. Now, it may be true that 10 to 20-year-olds don't want to wear a watch on their wrist, but you can be sure that they'll be far more interested in wearing an electronic tattoo, if only to piss off their parents. Right?
And that can have a design, right? Because
Sure.
they would certainly want some kind of cool
Options. And that's something that you wear, but you could also imagine including authentication in just your daily habits. So I take a vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication?
What?
Vitamin authentication. Look, I have one right here. Well, here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it?
I'll hold it.
Okay. So this,
You guys see it?
this pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. It also has what amounts to an inside-out potato battery. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte, and they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. Yes, this is true. Okay?
Okay, but
Okay, so wait. So it's really true. So what this means is that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower. It means that my arms are like wires, my hands are like alligator clips. When I touch my phone, my computer, my door, my car, I'm authenticated in. First superpower. Like, I want that.
So we're not shipping that right away.
Yeah, no. We're not shipping that right away. But it sounds like...
this is FDA cleared?
So here's the thing. This is not science fiction. This pill was actually made by a company called Proteus, and they've developed it for medical applications. That pill has been CE stamped and cleared by the FDA. You can take 30 of those per day for the rest of your life.
And then what happens? Does your heart beat change? Does your...
We can just tell that you've taken the pill.
In the last 40 years, we have not changed how we unlock our devices, even though their usage has significantly increased. An average user unlocks their phone 39 times a day, and it takes them 2.3 seconds every time they do so. It is so cumbersome that more than 50% of users do not lock their phones, exposing their personal data to theft. So we started working on making it easier for people to unlock their phones. Your phone is personal to you, so how you access it should be personalized to your style. Last year, we launched Skip, a wearable clip to unlock your Moto X. Now we are excited about a new wearable. It's a digital tattoo from VivaLink.
We worked with Motorola to make a digital tattoo. It's easy to put on and last for 5 days. Whether you take a shower or exercise, you don't have to worry about it. It goes where you go. We combine materials from flexible electronics industry with the leading edge of RF engineering to make the ultra-thin digital tattoo that is so comfortable that you barely notice. We also work very closely with the top designers in the world, including Ideal, to make a tattoo that looks beautiful and is easy to use. No fumbling, no typing, just tap.
Microchipped bee. The CSIRO is using them to track the insect's movements. The devices are tiny and they are all around you in their billions. Chances are you're carrying a couple of RFID microchips now, and if you are, they're sending out a 15-digit number that identifies you. That number can be picked up by what's called an ISO compliant scanner, and they're everywhere too. The chips are embedded in credit cards, Myki cards, and the swipe cards that let people into their office buildings. They're used to track manufactured goods in factories and stores, identify livestock and lost pets. And now RFID microchips like this are being injected into humans. Dr. Mark Gasson of the University of Reading in England was injected with one in 2009 to control electronic devices in his office. He later became the first human in history to be infected with a computer virus.
When the systems read my tags, the computer virus has actually appeared throughout the whole database. So it's actually replicated itself and copied it throughout the database.
The microchip implants are coated with a biocompatible material that enables them to bond with the surrounding flesh and sinew. That keeps them in place, but makes their surgical removal difficult and painful. Companies in America have marketed human microchips for security or medical purposes, but most microchipped humans are amateurs who have injected themselves, or who have convinced their family doctor to do it for them. They call themselves biohackers, and they use the chips to open doors or unlock their cars, phones and computers with a simple wave of their hand. Some biohackers go even further by also injecting themselves with self-made devices that enable them to pick up electromagnetic waves.
I want to see if I can't make the human evolve faster than what nature has allowed it to be.
Science is now challenging the very idea of what it means to be human. British cybernetics professor Kevin Warwick has an electronic device in his body that interfaces with his nervous system and is now working on implants that will enable humans to communicate just by thinking.
It will be brain to brain. That's the next step. That's what I'm working on now. Thought communication.
Having an electronic implant might seem too painful or weird to even contemplate, but scientists like Warwick and Gasson say that view will change dramatically. Forget mobile phones, your children and grandchildren may well want an implant instead.
It's not possible to interact in society in a meaningful way by not having a mobile phone. I think human implants are likely to go along a very similar route. It would be such a disadvantage to not have the implant that it essentially becomes not optional.
For overcoming less than desirable situations, mind over matter. And for 23-year-old quadriplegic Ian Burkhart, that's exactly what had to be done. Burkhart became paralyzed after a 2010 diving accident, but now Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center has just had a breakthrough discovery that may help many quadriplegics across the globe. They were able to get Ian Burkhart to move his hand with the power of thought. Doctors, neuroscientists, and engineers from Battelle were able to implement cutting-edge technology by installing a chip directly into Ian's brain.
Installing a chip directly into Ian's brain.
Dr. Ali Reze installed the chip in the area of the brain that controls the movement of the hand. Engineers at Battelle developed software, algorithms, and a sleeve which transmits thoughts and neurons from the brain directly into the arm in less than a tenth of a second. The signals are then taken from the chip and bypass the injury in the spinal cord, linking the signals directly to the muscles in the arm. Other technologies used in the past have been robotics, exoskeletons, or computers to move muscles, but this is the first using just the power of thought.
Just the power of thought.
Pretty cool.
Jones, KSLA News 12.
And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
I've said it before, I will say it again. We can't balance the budget on the backs of the very people who have borne the biggest brunt of this recession. Everyone's going to have to chip in. Everyone's going to have to chip in.
First superpower, like I want that.
But, you know, the whole move of these implants, there are a couple of stupid companies like the Verichip Corporation, with all its various names, that come out and say, oh, well, we want to sell this as a product. I don't think it's going to happen that way. People don't want an ID microchip. But if you turn around and instead say, you'll be able to listen to music and access Facebook and you know, get your email through this little implant, you're going to have a stampede of people wanting to do it. Because
you do if your boss said you had to have a computer ID chip implanted under your skin or you'd be fired? Well, we're not there quite yet, but one Ohio company is doing something that has some people wondering if we're headed down that road. Here's technology correspondent Daniel Seberg with tonight's Eye Opener.
There's my chip right there.
So you can actually see it.
It's about the size of a grain of rice, and it feels like it too. But what that tiny chip can and can't do has become the source of much concern and confusion.
I was in a grocery store, and a couple ladies said, "Hey, you're the guy with the chip in your arm, aren't you? You know, run across the scanner so we can see if it gets us a discount on groceries."
Sean Darks is the CEO of CityWatcher.com, a small company in Cincinnati that's the first U.S. business to use chip implants in its employees.
What you're looking at here is recorded footage back in August of a number of drug deals.
CityWatcher provides video surveillance for clients and for the police. And the video that it collects, like this drug bust, is the company's biggest asset. And they say they need to keep it under more than just lock and key.
You might have one of these where you work, a key card that allows access to different parts of the office. A lot of businesses use them, but here at CityWatcher, there's one particular room where you need either the implanted chip in your arm or a keychain. And Sean says the choice is up to the employee.
CityWatcher employees Chuck Gordon and Kari Williams require access to the secure server room where the video is stored. One got the implant, and the other decided not to. He carries the chip in a keychain instead.
That's one of the reasons that I don't want to do it. It's creepy to have knowing that something is there the entire time.
But Chuck, you could get over that feeling?
Right now, I guess the big thing is Big Brother's to be watching you over this. Basically, the chip's dormant except unless you go in front of the access panel. And that's the only time it activates. So other than that, I really have no worries about it.
Chip implants have been common in pets for several years, giving the owner peace of mind that their lost animal could be identified. And for retail giant Walmart, the chips are used as smart barcodes to keep track of thousands of products. But for use in people, well, privacy advocates think we shouldn't open that door.
The concern is a privacy concern because when that chip is placed in you, it becomes a permanent form of identification. If it were a bracelet, for example, or an ID card, you might choose not to carry it or not to wear it, but if it's in your skin, you're pretty much stuck with it.
CityWatcher employee Chuck Gordon was so stuck on the idea that he accompanied his wife Mary as she got the implant for medical reasons.
Just go ahead and lay down up here for a minute.
So doctors can pull up a record of her allergies in an emergency.
You're going to feel like a little stick and then a bee sting, okay? And that's going to numb the skin up for us, okay?
At this point, if you're squeamish about needles, it's best to turn away for a second.
No.
Getting an implant is not a pretty sight.
Like a tiny little incision here. Put the needle in. We pull the needle out, and we put a Band-Aid on her, and she's chipped.
The doctor will send the unique 16-digit number on Mary's chip to the chip maker for safekeeping. But critics question the security of the system.
It is the case that chips have been hacked. It's possible to duplicate them. It's possible to commit fraud with them. And those are also risks for people who are using this chip.
3 out of the 5 CityWatcher employees who need access to the video room have opted to have the chip implanted. The other 2 carry their chips on a keychain. Either way, Sean Dark says his company's secrets are safe, and let the chips fall where they may.
Excuse me, sir. Forgot your receipt.
Checkout lines. Who needs them?
Have a nice day.
This is the future of e-business.
But some citizens are embracing the age of Big Brother. In Rotterdam, Holland, nightclub owner John Van Galen has introduced a system of microchipping for his VIP patrons. It's almost like barcoding people.
Yeah, it is, because every chip got a number, and the number corresponds to the name and the picture. That's the way it is, yeah, it is.
The microchip has to be surgically inserted under the skin, which means you'll have to have it cut out if you want it removed. Did it hurt getting the chip in? Okay, can I have a look?
Yeah, of course.
It feels like a little grain of rice.
It's a rice, yeah.
Irving has had the chip for the past 4 years. Every time he buys a drink, he's scanned. And, like a human ATM, money comes off his account. You don't feel like you're giving up a little bit of your privacy, do you?
No. Yeah. It's just nice to have. You can say I have a chip in my arm. I'm the first one in the whole world. I have a chip. And yeah.
Remember CCTV monitoring. Thank you.
Big Brother is here to stay.
To think something so small can connect you to everything that matters.
When your life and all you love
are on the line.
HealthLink is always with you when every second counts in the emergency room, providing immediate access to your medical records.
Because Bob has trouble remembering all his medications.
Because I'm in love with my kids' kids.
Because my car lost control while driving.
Because now I'm looking out for both of us.
Because I have diabetes, but it doesn't have me.
Because I spend my life in the ER trying to save yours.
Apologize, my camera is going to get a little shaky because I'm trying to hold it while I'm explaining what's going on. Currently, right now, we have 44 million Americans on food stamps. Change we can all believe in. And that number is growing consistently by the second, by the minute, by the hour, every single day. The economy is terrible. You guys know the dollar's going to die. This is why I'm coming to you today, though. Let me just break it down for you. You see, and I do apologize again for the shaky camera, I came across this. The Grocery Manufacturers of America, the Food and Marketing Institute, and the National Association of Chain Drugstores have collaborated with the U.S. government for immediate release. This is a plan set up back in 2004, actually. Data synchronization, fundamental to RFID success, according to the latest GMA FMI NACDS report. This is just explaining, basically what they're about to do, their plans, and how they're going to eliminate the EBT system and the WIC and all that good stuff. But I know you guys are probably going to say, well, that's not enough proof. The document can say anything. And if you need to see the actual document, here's the link up top. Here's the link right here for you. You can just pause the tape and, find a link on your own, because I'm not going to put it in the YouTube thing. Yeah, I know I'm lazy. But check this out. The United States Department of Agriculture. These are the people who came up with EBT, WIC, and food stamps, along with the U.S. government. They collaborated with them and came up with this. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Washington, D.C. Advisory Committee on Biotechnology and 21st Century Agriculture. This was in August of this year, a few months back. They're just explaining the plans. All you have to do is go to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's website, type in biometrics or RFID, and this stuff is going to pop up. Very easy. Very easy. But let's go to the next one. For example, see search results. U.S. United States Department of Agriculture search results, biometric. Just hit the go button in all of the USDA, and the results were actually shocking because what came up was the year that the PDFs would pop up, the year they were made and modified. Now, I told you this was a plan back in 2004. The thing that made it very interesting is, look at that date. 2011, October 12th. Okay? Now look at what's attached to it. Use of biometric identification technology to reduce fraud in food stamp program. Basically, when you click on that, you're just going to be amazed. Amazed. So basically, it's time. They're going to destroy the program and bring on the chip. We are basically staring at Revelation 13 right here, today, November 3rd. We're staring at it. And then I came across this. United States Department of, Department of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Service. Voila. Introduction to biometric identification technology, capabilities, and applications to the food stamp program. Nothing else to talk about. All you have to do is Google this stuff and it will pop right up. Nothing else to talk about. Because I know you guys are probably like, well, his credibility is shot, or where is he getting this stuff from? It's right in your face. That's where I'm getting it from. This is directly from the horse's mouth. They're about to end the food stamps, the WIC, the EBT. If you're not a Christian, I suggest you come to the Lord Jesus Christ. Here we see again, HDMA teams up with, HDMA teams up with the NACDS to examine RFID. Now, HDMA means the Healthcare Distribution Management Association, and NACDS means the National Association of Chain Drug Stores.
Verichip, subsidiary of publicly traded Applied Digital, has added Tommy Thompson to its board of directors. The company hoping the former Health and Human Services Secretary can help accelerate the use of RFID for healthcare and security applications. Joining us to discuss the future of RFID and his plans for Verichip, Tommy Thompson, former Health and Human Services Secretary, and Scott Silverman, Chairman and CEO of Applied Digital. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be on your program.
Ms. Thompson, I'll start with you. We're doing a poll today. Would you have one of these things implanted in your arm, or, I don't know, under your scalp, or wherever you put it?
You put it in your right arm, and it's very small, and it doesn't bother you at all, but it certainly is going to allow you to identify who you are, protect your child. If you have a new child that's born in a nursery, you can protect that child from having somebody walk off on it. You can also protect your loved ones in a nursing home so that you can put a bracelet on and identify that individual and be able to find that individual if that person wanders away. But I certainly would, and I think it's the coming thing. And the problem is that medical technology is so far behind that RFIDs are going to really be the impetus in order for us to get new technology in the medical field that's going to help people improve their quality of care. And that's what it's all about.
And I'm sorry, sir, did you just say you would get one implanted in your arm?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay.
That's it.
No concerns? No concerns at all? Because I have to admit, it makes me a little queasy.